was kind of small, and I was a skinny kid. And in school, I did a lot of fighting to prove myself. When I was about 12 years old, I got hit with a rock and lost my eye. And was in the hospital for a while. And when I come back out and went back to school, it made me kind of a hero. All the kids, you know, kind of envied that, you know. And I think that's kind of set the tone in my life. I started drinking around 10, but I was an alcoholic by 16. Full-fledged alcoholic, and I was married at 17, had a couple of children. Started doing marijuana around that time. After my first marriage broke up, I took off and started hitchhiking around the United States, and I spent about 5 years on the road. Just traveled around, staying here and there, and doing more and more drugs, more and more alcohol, and life was just a real wreck. I was in jail in just about every city that I've ever been in for things from panhandling to obstructing sidewalks. Some of the times I thought that I was never going to get out of jail, and just a real life of nothingness. And used to spend a lot of time in the bars, and I went through another marriage in that time. Met my third wife in a bar. She wasn't my wife then, she was just my girlfriend, the person that I had lived with for a while, and we was both alcoholics, and my wife started attending AA, and that kind of pulled our relationship apart. Then she met some people at the AA meeting that introduced her to Jesus Christ, and she accepted him, and that ended our relationship. We was apart, I guess, for 6-7 months, and one time I went on a poker run with some biker friends of mine, and it was raining, and I went and sat in a car, and I was sitting there, and I was just thinking and thinking that didn't feel that I belonged where I was at with these people. And my other friends back in the bar, I didn't feel that I belonged there, and I was wondering, well, where do I belong? What's left for me? Where do I go from here? And it wasn't too long after that I was making a phone call, looking for some drugs somewhere, and at a friend's house, and somehow I got a hold of my girlfriend. I didn't dial her number, I didn't even know her number, and she was on the other end of the phone. And I recognized her voice, but I says, "Who is this?" And she just answered, "You know who it is." And I couldn't think of anything to say to her, and I says, "Well, thanks for sending me that book, Power for Living." At that time, somebody had sent me the book in the mail, The Power for Living, and I didn't know who, and she's the only one I could think of that would do something like that since she had got saved. She said she didn't send the book to me, and but she says, anytime that you want to talk to me about God, feel free to call, and don't call for any other reason. Well, I come home one night, pretty drunk, sat down on a couch, and flipped on TV, and I was going through the channels, trying to find something to watch, and happened to turn on Cornerstone Television. And there was a guy giving his testimony, and his testimony was a lot like mine. He was an alcoholic, he used drugs, and he was talking about what God did in his life. And, well, I did call her back. It's my girlfriend. And we would get on the phone, and we'd talk for hours about Jesus, and going over and having Bible studies. And I ended up, she led me through the Lord. We ended up getting married, and this wedding, when we said the vows, I meant them. Every word I meant. And I can look back and see what God took me, a dirty, filthy creature, and just took me and he cleansed me. He purified my heart, purified my soul, and gave me a place in heaven. God made something different out of our marriage. Our marriage, it really united us. Well, years ago, a friend of mine at church who worked here at Cornerstone Television, and I asked him if they needed any help up here, and he said, yeah, come on up. And I come up to volunteer. Here I worked into the full-time job. I've been here now 14 years. And as I look back over my life, and I see what God's done for me, I can really appreciate what Cornerstone Television is doing. And I think that's the perfect reason that people should be giving here. And just think of the lives you could be touching just by giving a few dollars here and there to Cornerstone Television.